All right, let's try this again. Um, let's see if we can get chat fixed. How would my day be if I didn't have some kind of problem occurring during this whole thing? You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. So let's go ahead and see if we can fix this. All right. Let's see. Okay, yeah, that's working. Okay. Let's see. See if I'm lagging still. I still think I'm lagging, bro. I don't know. We might have to like do this later. Shit, it don't look. I wanted to talk to y'all and see like what was up. Like, what we gonna do? Let me see. Hold on. Let me see what this looks like, cause this is bugging me right now. This is bugging. And then let me mute desktop. There we go. Get that muted. Then we gonna check this out. Okay. All right, that kind of looks a little bit better. So, just a quick update. This internet is just driving me insane. Cox Cable, I'm sick of them. Cox, if you're watching this, which I probably assume you won't be watching this, but you're garbage. That's all I could really say about that, right? And hopefully, the person I just talked to, about an hour ago, we discussed fiber optic from AT&T. So we're gonna make that switch because this is insane. Like, this is terrible. All the problems that Cox has just been giving me, as far as even the area, like there are trees everywhere. I don't even know if that's really gonna play an issue in my internet. But if you come to my house and try to use your phone, your cellular, I promise you, you are not seeing nothing. Like, nothing is loading. Nothing is loading. Like, it's bad. So, as of right now, I think my I think somebody's streaming, like, or using the internet right now on Netflix and stuff. But this is whack, I'm telling you. This is so bad. I can't even just chat because of this internet. Like, I hope this is good on y'all's end because on mine, it is not. Let me see this. Everything looks okay. Like, mm, bro. Like, I wish there was a way for me to, bro. If anybody knows of a way for me to check like the stream health, because this never happens. I never have this problem whenever I'm streaming at night. And I'm sure everybody probably just got out of school, but this is insane, dog. This is insane. This looks like crap, bro. Okay, never mind. I think it's just on like my end. So, I don't know. I don't know what games to play, bro. I don't know. Might watch some GTA videos real quick and see what's up. Because this is just, you know what I mean? Not it. Am I frozen or what, bro? I don't. Okay. Bruh. Okay. Um. Anyway, let's just go. Let's go to YouTube. I don't know what to watch. This man's wearing a shiesty on stream. Dude. I'm like literally stressing, trying to, well, not really stressing, but trying to figure out why this doesn't work for a whole 10 minutes of this whole stream. Like, why this thing be freezing, bro? I'm gonna get off. I'm gonna see if I can get as many devices off the Wi-Fi as I can, and hopefully that works. You know. Let me see. Okay. Hopefully that worked. And then I want to watch. Yeah, 10 good games that flopped. I actually want to watch this. So, all right. Can we bring this in? Can we bring it in? Okay. I think there is good. So, let's just hope YouTube doesn't jack us up. I need to put the audio, turn that back up. Let me see if this is too loud. So, let's just watch 10 good games that flopped in sales. I'm going to go ahead and take a guess at what games they're talking about. Since this video is a month old, so I'm just going to assume they're more than likely talking about, let's see, Cyberpunk, Final Fantasy. I don't want to say Anthem, because I can't remember how old that game is. What was it? That one space game where you can just travel to like every galaxy and every universe. I feel like that one flopped because that game came out in like 2016 or something like that, didn't it? 2017, and then it just kept getting like better and better and better over time. I count that as a flop. Halo was a flop. Halo Infinite was a flop. But it could have been good. What else? I don't know. Let's see.
Making a good game and selling it are two different things. A game developer could
Ooh, it's
spend
too loud.
tons and tons of time working their asses off making a great game. And whether you don't know anything about marketing or the climate's just bad for the game, very few people might buy it. Hi folks, it's Falcon, and today on Game Ranks, 10 good games that flopped in sales. And number 10 is Blur. The thing about video game sales flops is the failure is kind of in the eye of the beholder. Who's the accountant? Is it the game dev? Are the criteria for success a good game or sales? Some games barely manage to break even, and they're still considered a success because of the impact they have, or maybe just that they did what they set out to do. On the flip side, you can get games like this one, where the game manages to sell 500,000 units but is considered a commercial failure. Blur was a game with a lot going for it. It was made by Bizarre Creations, the guys behind the awesome Project Gotham racing games. It was a fresh take on the racing genre with its focus on arcade action and vehicular combat.
I've never heard of this game.
And most importantly, it was extremely fun to play. It's a great game, but in Activision's eyes, it failed to capture an audience, and despite pretty good sales overall, was considered a flop. It got great reviews and sold moderately well, I'm sure enough to turn a profit. But that wasn't enough for Activision. Work on the planned sequel was halted and the studio was closed in 2011. Just one more great studio that got chewed up and spit out by Activision. More like Deactivision. And number 9 is The Evil Within 2. The original Evil Within had promise and sold relatively well, but for whatever reason, the sequel just didn't get the same level of attention. Compared to the first game's 800,000 units sold in a single week, The Evil Within 2 managed to sell only around 200,000 units. Part of that can be explained by the fact that they were only counting the physical sales numbers versus the digital. This was a time when we were just transitioning into digital sales. Physical sales were really what mattered to companies at this point, but even figuring in digital numbers, the game sold significantly less than the previous entry, which is a shame because Evil Within 2 is a pretty damn great, actually a big improvement over the original game in almost every way. The only real negative is it's not as scary as the first one, but in every other way, it's a big improvement and one of the best survival horror games out there that isn't called Resident Evil. Why it failed to do as well as the first game, I don't really know. Maybe the negative reactions to the original turned people off the second game. Maybe it came out at a bad time, wasn't properly advertised by Bethesda. There's a lot of reasons that a game flops, but in the case of this one, where it's an improvement upon the original, a big one, it's just kind of confusing. By every metric, it should have done better. Like, they didn't do anything wrong.
Never
Like,
played
if they had called the game More Evil Within or The Evil
honest, I'm
Within
not like a
2,
horror games
Still
kinda guy.
Evil Within, I could see people taking it
I'm a
less
bitch
seriously,
when it
but
comes to horror
they didn't.
games.
They just
I will
made a
jump
better
scare
game.
on everything.
What the? At number 8 is Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope. Might be hard to believe, but the first Mario plus Rabbids game sold a frankly insane 10 million units. It's by all estimates a massive success for such an unlikely idea. I mean, seriously, Mario and the Rabbids teaming up, and beyond all rational thought, the game is not actually just good, but it's great. It really was a 1 in a million kind of game. A truly out there premise that feels creative, fresh, and it sold really, really well. So of course Ubisoft went back to that well with the sequel, Sparks of Hope. They'd be crazy not to. But in comparison with how well the first game did, the sequel totally flopped. I couldn't find any hard data and expect that a lot with this list. People don't exactly broadcast their failures, and I don't think they're required to report sales numbers, at least the digital ones. But Ubisoft has confirmed the game underperformed. And the only metric we have is physical sales in Japan, where you do have to report the physical sales, and that was only 17,000 copies. Take that with a big grain of salt, because Japan is a small market compared to North America, and physical sales in 2022 are a small fraction of a game's total sales. Not that 17,000 times 60 is nothing, but for Ubisoft, it's definitely not a good sign. which is a shame because the sequel, while a bit different from the first game, has a
Bro, like,
lot
what?
to like about it. The new combat system is fun and fast, and the world design's more open and interesting to explore. By all accounts, it's a very good sequel, but sales were terrible compared to the original. It's likely that people needed only one Mario and Rabbids game. The shock value kind of wore off and people moved on. It's not novel anymore. And while I think Sparks of Hope is great, despite it seems like a major factor in the original game's success was just how unlikely it was to be as good as it was. You don't really have that the second time around when you've proven that games are good, which is a counterintuitive thing to think, but my thinking is you'd probably need to wait quite a while so that people are like, wow, are they going to make a sequel to this? And then you...
Hold on, dog. What is going on with this? I gotta fix this real quick. Like, what the Bro, this is driving me insane, bro. Why can't this just work the way I want it to work? Like, all right. I might just switch to Twitch, man, because this is so bad right now. Like, the thumbnail, like, is actually kind of accurate. Like, just quit. I might just quit YouTube on here because this is insane. Like, dude, what the fuck? Like, come on, bruh. Oh. Man, this is... Hold on. This is stupid. Oh my God. Dude. Dude. Bruh. Dude. Bruh. Not it. Okay. Anyway, let's just go. Let's go to YouTube. If anybody knows how to fix this, like, please let me know, because this thing is delayed by like 10 minutes. I don't know what to watch. I guess my connection is just so trash right now. This delay is just... I'm like literally stressing, trying to, well, not really stressing. I'm stressing now, trying to figure out why this doesn't work for... Okay, at least I fixed the chat. I fixed the chat. Yeah, sorry, I'm just checking the stream right now because the encoding is terrible right now. So... yeah, hope we get that fiber optic soon. Fingers crossed, man. I'm telling you, fingers crossed. I swear, this is... All right, let's bring this back. All right, we're about to get this started. Okay. I think we got it. All right. I didn't even. Okay. All right. There we go. There we go. The weather is acting kind of crazy right now. At the same time. So, all right. Okay. Can we continue with this video, please? There. All right, let's get back into this.
Announce it and they're like, yes, a sequel to this. They didn't do that. They were just kind of like, let's do this like every other game franchise we do with sequels, which is too many of them. And then the second one came too soon, which is a shame because I really think it deserves a lot more attention. And number 7 is Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire. One of those games that just seems like it should do well. The first game had a huge Kickstarter and sold extremely well for a computer RPG, but the sequel never managed to meet those sales numbers. Even compared to its contemporaries like Divinity Original Sin 2 and Pathfinder Kingmaker. Maybe it's the fact that all 3 of those games came out about the same time and people were split between Divinity's beautiful 3D world and Pathfinder's newness. But in comparison to both of these games, Pillars of Eternity 2 did much worse. I mean,
like 3 of these games I've never even heard of. Where?
This is a game by RPG veterans at Obsidian, and by all accounts, it's a huge improvement over the original and a beautiful game in its own right. In this particular case, I really do think it has to do with releasing so close to the other 2 big names. They were highly anticipated, and I think they just hurt the game's sales. All these computer RPGs are huge. They take a super long time to play and require an understanding of game mechanics that makes it difficult to juggle more than one game at a time. So people pick Divinity 2 or Pathfinder over this game, which is a shame.
Yeah, I've never been like a League of Legends type of player or a World of Warcraft or even like a top-down player. Diablo 4 or whatever, all the Diablos, I've never played. So this ain't really what I'm into. And so even if I try to play this game and all the mechanics like he's stating are just going to be like crap and you got to relearn them, I'd be so lost. I'd probably be done in the first 30 minutes. I didn't even get past the training when it came to League. Hey, you can call me dumb or I didn't understand it, but it just was not fun to me. Even like going into like Halo Wars, could not play Halo Wars at all. Tried it, was just not for me.
Because it really does stand toe-to-toe with them in many, many ways. It's a much more polished and fun experience than the original Pillars, and while it's still very heavy on text, the writing is also really strong. It's a shame it got passed over by so many, because it's really one of Obsidian's best games. And number 6 is Enslaved: Odyssey to the West. Another one of those games that didn't do terribly, but didn't do great either. Before finding real success with Hellblade, Ninja Theory put out a few different games of varying quality, but one of their best was definitely Enslaved: Odyssey to the West. It's the bizarre but a fascinating setting of a post-apocalyptic journey to the West, where you play as Monkey and his sidekick Trip on a treacherous adventure through a robot-infested wasteland. It's an extremely unusual setting, and there's some great performances from the main characters, especially from Andy Serkis as Monkey, who actually gets to play a good guy for once.
I remember this game.
If we're gonna get through this, then when I ask you to do something, you need to do it immediately.
Okay.
Okay.
and wow, does he make the most of it. It was kind of a hard sell right from the start. It's a new IP with an unusual setting and no real obvious hook, but the game did all right at launch, selling about 800,000 copies. Oh wait, Bandai Namco just made that up because in February next year, they amended the number down to 460,000 copies, which is a lot less, almost half. They expected at least 1 million copies sold, and with the game only managing about half that number, a little bit more, the planned sequel was shelved. Huge shame. There was real potential here, and Ninja Theory never got a chance to finish it. But that's how it goes with this kind of risky project. At number 5 is Gravity Rush 2, one of the PlayStation 4's best exclusive, almost completely ignored outside of Japan. Starting to see a pattern emerge here. If you're a niche game series that has a surprisingly strong debut, expect all interest to disappear with the sequel. The original Gravity Rush was a modest success on PS Vita, so against all reason, the developers at Japan Studio decided to go totally nuts with the sequel. In the end, they made one of the most interesting and unique open-world action games of all time. It's set in a strange world where everybody just lives on floating cities, I guess. The real draw is the gravity powers, where instead of flying, you can shift to change your own personal gravity. It allows you to walk on walls, fall upwards through the air, and generally get around the world in a way that's completely different from any other game like this.
That's pretty interesting.
I mean, what makes it a standout is it's just a huge, polished game with this really strange central mechanic that feels more like it belongs in an indie game. With no real sales numbers, we can only estimate how well the game did with things like in-game achievements and assorted physical sales in certain regions, but it doesn't paint a positive picture. When a game's online component is shut down less than a year after release, it's not a good sign of the game's popularity, and that's exactly what happened here with Gravity Rush 2. As one of PlayStation's most unique franchises, it's a shame it didn't do better, but player interest just wasn't there for whatever reason.
Yeah, this game looks a lot better than it looks better than Starfield. Starfield looked like hot garbage. I'm sorry.
At number 4 is Sunset Overdrive. Anything that you should be learning from the last 2 points, it's that unique movement-based open-world action games kind of have to have Spider-Man in the title or they're not going to do well. Made by the tried-and-true developers at Insomniac during their brief tenure making exclusives for Microsoft instead of Sony, Sunset Overdrive is an open-world shooting game with a twist. Instead of running around on foot like a loser, you can grind and bounce everywhere. It's not just a mode of transportation either. It's closely tied in with the combat, and when everything's rolling, it's one of the most entertaining open world games out there, period.
Sewer pipes? Keep moving, cabron. That was harder than it looked. Fisco blade bot. I hate these checks.
And yeah, the humor can be a little bit of a turnoff for people, but everything else about the game is fantastic. And it's kind of a surprise it never managed to really get an audience. It didn't do terribly. It did manage to sell about 320,000 units worldwide, but for a big Microsoft exclusive on their new console, that's pretty weak. I'm gonna chalk this one up to another aspect. It just didn't look unique at the time. It is. Like, this is a unique game that very few games play like. But there were so many other things that just felt like the same thing. You mean a quirky open world game with an interesting movement mechanic? Never heard of that. Its identity is also not super unique from the outside. People look very similar to each other. It's very colorful, which is cool, but there was a lot of really colorful stuff at the time. In terms of presentation, there's just very little that separates it from a very crowded space in 2018. But this game, it stands head and shoulders above its contemporaries. It's arguable that it doesn't really have contemporaries. It's a pretty unique game.
Good work. It's coming back up.
And number 3 is Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. The immersive sim genre is cursed. They're all...
Dude, probably like what, 5 games on this list I've never even heard of.
always going to be critical.
And I probably will never play them. What are these games, bro? I understand it's 10 good games that flop, but they didn't. I mean, only 2 of them looked good.
darlings, and they're never going to be sales hits. Once in a while, you get a big name like Dishonored that breaks into the mainstream, but most of the time you get Vampire the Masquerade, a game that's a cult classic. You hear about it all the time, but the sales numbers are never good. During its initial release, the game only sold about 80,000 copies, which isn't great for a major release like this, especially one published by Activision, made by Troika, the guys who worked on the original Fallout games and made another all-time great that also flopped in sales called Arcanum. Vampire is definitely more flawed than a lot of the other games on this list, but still one of the all-time greats. Set in White Wolf's world of darkness, say that 3 times fast, you play as a new vampire in the LA underworld. It's got a weird horror-tinged atmosphere, and it's pretty unique as far as RPGs go. And while it does have a more than healthy amount of jank a lot of the time, the setting and gameplay really make it stand out. It's an RPG and an immersive sim at the same time. Overall, a really ambitious game for 2004, and people loved.
How old is this game? I was talking about games that were within the past year, and they're talking about GTA, San Andreas, Vampires.
Despite many issues. That said, it did not sell well. In hindsight, releasing same day as
none of the games I
Half-Life
said are
2
gonna be on this
probably
list.
wasn't the best idea. At number 2 is the wonderful 101. There's few developers who make
is
games
that?
as good as Platinum, but consistently fail to find an audience. They've made so many great games, and so many of them have underperformed or outright flopped, like Mad World, Vanquish, the recent Bayonetta Origins. All these games underperformed, and they're really solid games. Babylon's Fall, that was crap, and it rightfully failed. But, I mean, there is complicated context with that one. But one of their best games, The Wonderful 101, sold abysmally, not just once, but 2 times. When it first came out on the Wii U, the sales were shocking, only around 79,000 units in total between the US and Japan. And this was on Wii U, where most sales were
Bro.
physical. If any is with, of course, an Arcane game had to be number 1. Almost all of their games have either underperformed or straight up flopped. It's the immersive sim curse. These games just do not sell well for whatever reason. Like I said above, there's the rare one like Dishonored that breaks through, or you get a more streamlined one like BioShock. But overall, these games pretty much always review really well, but don't do really well. Prey may well be Arcane's magnum opus, but it flopped. Sales were down 60% over their last game, Dishonored 2, which also underperformed compared to the first.
Okay,
So
I've heard of
even
Dishonored.
compared to a relative flop, relative, keep in mind, Prey did not do well, which really sucks because it's one of the best immersive sims of all time. It's a game that takes a little while to probably not.
Okay.
Couple of bonus games for you. Earthbound, despite being a beloved classic that you usually see near the top of best SNES games, Earthbound didn't do well when it came out. Along with, and that's all
Anyway,
for today. Leave us a
I
comment.
don't know
Let us know what
any
you
of
think.
these
If you like this
videos.
video, click like. If you're not,
I mean, any of these games. Let me see. Never heard of any of them bitches, bro. Except for like 2 of them. Let me see if I can fix this. I'm gonna try to fix this real quick, so bear with me. Gonna cut that off real fast. Go here. I have no stream health information. I wish I had something. I watched the whole video and this thing is still behind, bro. Maybe. Anyways, it looks like it's starting to catch up. Phones. I need to go buy another monitor. I'm just getting kind of lazy. But I've been trying to check on Best Buy to see if they have a monitor that's going to pop up, but so far nothing has popped up. Small town. Okay. Let me see. See what else we got, bro. Oops.
I kicked security out.
Bro, no.
Okay.
This is such a strong taste.
I don't know where that was playing from. I've never had something like this. These things happen. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Oh, yo, what was that chick that tried to kill her two friends or in that car accident? Girl, or she did kill them. Kills two friends in driving murder. This is insane. Like, I heard about this. And I wanted to wait and do like a reaction video of this stuff, because this is crazy.
This trial is a culmination of decisions made by one person, the defendant. Those decisions have forever altered the futures of 3 families, and of you also, Mackenzie. And your decisions forever robbed Dominic and Davion of the futures that they had before them. If there is one thing that can be taken away from this case, as painful as it is this. Every decision we make is important. Every action we make is important. Regardless of whether the decision is a good one or a bad one, or the actions are good or not, the result is the same. The consequences ripple through time and affect many more people than one might think at the time of the decision. In
And she's the
criminal
one that
cases,
did
the
it,
state
right?
carries the greatest burden under our law, proof beyond a reasonable doubt.
And from what I've gathered from what people have told me is that if this is the same girl, I hope I'm watching the right video. They said that this chick got her friends in the car. It was premeditated, ran the car into a wall, killed them two, and she survived. And the car looked like it was just, I don't know. And I'm kind of scarred from car accidents because I've been in one last year around this time, and it was bad. And my knee is still not okay. I had a laceration in my leg, deep one. You can see the white meat, like the inside my leg. It was kind of bad. Let me see.
As I previously stated, I considered all the evidence presented.
Not kind of bad. It was very bad.
And at this point, I would like to comment specifically on Exhibit 802, the crash video. This is the type of evidence you can never unsee. You can never forget the visual or audio of this exhibit.
Why she look like that though? Like she didn't premeditate it. Like they found it on her computer, right? That she was trying to do, like she was trying to murder her friends, and she succeeded. Like, why you look like that?
It is chilling and tragic. As you review that exhibit, you know that you are watching the oncoming deaths of two people, and there is nothing that will stop it. The video clearly shows the purpose and intent of the defendant. She chose a course of death and destruction that day. Exhibit 802 crystallizes the deadly decision-making of the defendant. She morphs from a responsible driver to literal hell on wheels as she makes her way down the street. Mackenzie alone made the decision to drive the car, to drive an obscure route, a route she visited a few days before, and a route not routinely taken by her. Mackenzie alone chose the time to make the drive, early in the morning, when any reasonable person would expect that few people would be nearby to witness it or offer life-saving assistance. She made these decisions despite knowing, as any reasonable person would, that her mission of death could have involved others, not even in the car with her, other people, other cars, pedestrians. She had a mission, and she executed it with precision. The mission was death. Mackenzie alone decided to push the pedal to the floor and demand the ultimate speed of that vehicle to 90 to 100 miles per hour. She alone decided what was to be. Mackenzie decided death was the ultimate goal that day, and she alone made.
It sounded like she said 90 to 100 miles an hour, but I'm pretty sure she said 92 to 100 miles an hour.
She alone decided what was to be. Mackenzie decided death was the ultimate goal that day, and she alone made that decision for decided to push the pedal to the floor and demand the ultimate speed of that vehicle to 90 to 100 miles per hour. Whether or not she intended to also kill herself is a matter of speculation and of no relevance to the weighing of the evidence in this case. The totality of the evidence clearly demonstrates that Mackenzie Shirilla acted purposely and intentionally in the early morning hours of July.
How do you survive smacking your car into a wall, into a building, whatever the case may be, a hard wall of cement at 92 to 100 miles an hour, and you come out as the only survivor? How is that possible? She premeditated this to the point where she knew that she would survive. Did she put on like 5 seatbelts or something? Like, did she put a pillow like under her shirt? And then her friends are like, what are you doing? Like, how do you survive that? She looks totally fine. Was this like a year ago or was this recent? There looks like there's nothing wrong with this chick. That's crazy.
31st, 2022, and her purpose was to kill Dominic Russo and Deacon Flanagan. No reasonable fact finder could view the totality of this evidence in this case and come to any other conclusion.
And quit that bullshit crying, I swear, bro. Quit that fake ass shit. Shut the fuck up.
Actions were controlled, methodical, deliberate, intentional, and purposeful. This was not reckless driving. This was murder. Court renders the following verdicts. Count 1. The court, having had count 1 tried to and pursuant to waiver, finds the defendant, Mackenzie Shirilla, guilty of murder, to wit, Dominic Russo, in violation of Ohio Revised Code Section 2903.02A, is charged in count 1. Count 2. The court, having had count 2 tried to and pursuant to waiver, finds the defendant, Mackenzie Shirilla, guilty of murder, to wit, Davion Flanagan, in violation of Ohio Revised Code Section 2903.02A, is charged in count 2 of the indictment. Count 3, murder. The court, having had count 3 tried to and pursuant to waiver, finds the defendant, Mackenzie Shirilla, guilty of murder, to wit, Dominic Russo, in violation of Ohio Revised.
Who is this? Who is this right here? Is she one of the family members or something? Or is she just like, oh my God, her too? I don't even know if that's her hand. Is that her hand? Yeah, it is. But look at this man. He's just like, yeah, we putting you away. I wonder how long she's gonna go for. Let's see.
Code Section 2903.02B, is charged in count 3. Count 4, murder. The court, having had count 4 tried to and pursuant to waiver, finds the defendant, Mackenzie Shirilla, guilty of murder, to wit, Dominic Russo, in violation of Ohio Revised Code Section 2903.02B, is charged in count 4. Count 5, felonious assault. The court, having had count 5 tried to and pursuant to waiver, finds the defendant, Mackenzie Shirilla, guilty of felonious assault, to wit, Dominic Russo, in violation of Ohio Revised Code Section 2903.
Bro, these tears are so fucking fake. 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 Like, come on, man. Like, if I got into a wreck and 2 of my friends passed, I would be in there bawling like snot, my eyes red. I would be already crying before I even got in there. You know what I mean? Like, my eyes would have been red for the past 10, 12 days, however long this was going on. I would have been crying as soon as I even got in there. If they would have told me, like, Derek, I would have just been crying, bro. And for the fact that she had, like, this face like this, and then she starts crying as soon as the verdict starts coming through. Oh, yeah, she did it. She did it. Put her away. She did it.
.11 of the revised code is charged in count 5 of the indictment. Count 6, felonious assault. The court, having had count 6 tried to and pursuant to waiver, finds the defendant, Mackenzie Shirilla, guilty of felonious assault, to wit, Dominic Russo, in violation of Ohio Revised Code Section 2903.11A2, is charged in count 6. Count 7, felonious assault. The court, having had count 7 tried to and pursuant to waiver, finds the defendant, Mackenzie Shirilla, guilty of felonious assault, to wit, Davion Flanagan, in violation of Ohio Revised Code Section 2903.11A1, as charged in count 7. Count 8, felonious assault. The court, having had count 8 tried to and pursuant to waiver, finds the defendant, Mackenzie Shirilla, guilty of felonious.
Look, I'm sorry, but look at her. She is just like, what am I sitting through right now? She probably thought, I don't know if they told them before the proceeding what they would be discussing. I don't know, right? But the jurors had to go through there and make the decision. But they're probably like, we ruined her life. If she better be getting like 50 years. I'm sorry. But isn't that crazy how the justice system is? Is like, you can go and kill somebody, right? And sometimes you get a lesser sentence than a drug charge. So if they give her less than like 20 to life, I'm gonna freak out. Because this shit happens. This shit happens. They better give her 80 years.
Felonious assault to wit Davion Flanagan in violation of Ohio Revised Code Section 2903.11A2 as charged in Count 8. Count 9, aggravated vehicular homicide. The court, having had Count 9 tried to and pursuant to waiver, finds the defendant, Mackenzie Sherilla, guilty of aggravated vehicular homicide to wit Dominic Russo in violation of Ohio Revised Code Section 2903.06A2A.
I'm sorry, but this just pisses me off, bro. It's like you convinced two people that trusted you. I don't know what the backstory was between these three people, but you convinced two people to get in the car with you because they trusted you. And what I assume she did was she probably rigged the seatbelt somehow so that hers was the only one that would save her life. But the fact that you convinced two people that trusted you and probably believed in you and thought you were a good person, and then you killed them, I'm assuming that she was jealous about something. Because I can't really see how women, or even anybody, would just act on impulse to like, I'm just going to kill two people today. And you know what? They're not going to be random. They're going to be my friends. Like,
A is charged in Count 9. Count 10, aggravated vehicular homicide. The court, having had Count 10 tried to and pursuant to waiver, finds the defendant, Mackenzie Sherilla, guilty of aggravated vehicular homicide
That
to
must be her
Davion
mama.
Flanagan in violation of Ohio Revised Code Section 2903.06A2A as charged in Count 10. Count 11, drug possession. The court, having had Count 11 tried to and pursuant to waiver, finds the defendant, Mackenzie Sherilla, guilty of drug possession in violation of Ohio Revised Code Section 2925.11A as charged in Count 11. Count 12, possessing criminal tools. The court, having had Count 12 tried to and pursuant to waiver, finds the defendant, Mackenzie Sherilla, guilty of possessing criminal tools in violation of Ohio Revised Code
What are
Section
criminal tools?
2923.24A as charged in Count 12. The court, having had Count 12 tried to and pursuant to waiver, finds the defendant, Mackenzie Sherilla, guilty of possessing criminal tools, and further finds the defendant did intend to use a substance, device, instrument, or article, to wit, a digital scale, to commit the offense of a felony. Sentencing will be 1 week from today, August 21st at 1 p.m. If any party wishes to file a sentencing memorandum, it is to be filed by 4 p.m. on Thursday, August 17th. Thank you.
Love you, baby.
she didn't even get sentenced yet? That was just a hearing? She didn't get sentenced? Oh. Let me see this.
A judge called this teenage girl literal hell on wheels. She got 15 years to life for killing her boyfriend and his friend.
15 years? Bro! She killed two people, bro. 15 years? 15 years. People go away on drug charges for 15 years, bro. She killed two people. I'm telling you, bro. Hey, I'm not saying that it ain't because of this, but it's because of this. It's because of this.
In one of the most horrific ways possible. Here's what the judge saw. Mackenzie Sherilla's Toyota Camry speeds 100 miles an hour down a quiet street, then jumps a curb and rams into a brick warehouse. The whole thing is caught on security cameras. But here's something even more bizarre. The brake lights don't flash once. This was no accident, according to the judge. Let's take a look at the evidence. 。 Just after dawn on a Sunday morning in July 2022, a passerby reports a bad accident in a Strongsville, Ohio office park. Firefighters pull 3 people out of the wreckage. Davion Flanagan, 19, Mackenzie Shirilla, she's 17 in high school. Her fuzzy pink Prada slipper is still stuck to the gas pedal. And Dominic Russo, Mackenzie's boyfriend, 20 years old. Davion and Dominic are dead. Mackenzie is the sole survivor. Everyone assumes it's a tragic drunk driving accident at first. Mackenzie is rushed to the hospital. She was seriously injured, but somehow she survived after a lot of surgeries. Meanwhile, detectives are digging into the crash, and thanks to a short video from a city streetlight camera, they find a few facts that just don't add up. At first, Mackenzie is just cruising along slowly, using her blinker to turn into an empty business park. Then, out of nowhere, she floors it. The Camry gets up to 100 miles an hour in less than a mile, then jerks left and right before it jumps the curb and slams into the brick building, killing the 2 passengers. Why was Mackenzie driving toward an empty office complex at 5:30 on a Sunday morning? And worse, she pushed the pedal all the way down 4 seconds before the crash and never once touched the brakes, according to crash investigators who
They was homies, bro. Hold on. Who were they again?
Dominic Russo, Mackenzie's boyfriend, 20 years old. Davion and Dominic are dead. Mackenzie is the sole survivor.
Oh, they killed a homie.
Everyone assumes it's a tragic drunk driving, or it jumps the curb Sunday morning. And worse, she pushed the pedal all the way down 4 seconds before the crash and never once touched the brakes, according to crash investigators who checked out the Camry's computer system. That doesn't sound like an accident. Then they found even more disturbing evidence. That wasn't the first time Mackenzie was in the office park. Cameras caught her shortly before the accident in the same area around the same time.
That's a crazy Ariana Grande. How do you say it? Grand? I think she came out and said her name was Grand. Anyway, who cares? That's a crazy Ariana Grande right there.
Prosecutors say she was there mapping her route and checking how many witnesses might be around. But why would a 17-year-old murder her boyfriend and his friend to end a toxic relationship once and for all, according to the prosecution? They say Dominic and Mackenzie fought in the weeks before the crash. A man who was living at the Russo house said he overheard Mackenzie threaten to crash the car while he was on the phone with Dominic. There was also video of the couple arguing and Mackenzie threatening to key his car. Davion Flanagan just happened to be there, the poor soul who got a ride home from the wrong person. The group was meant to be coming home from a Saturday night party, a party where they were smoking marijuana, according to the prosecution. That wasn't a one-off thing for Mackenzie, if her TikTok is to be believed.
I'm not even cool. I'm just one of those girls that can do a lot of drugs and not die.
After the crash, doctors say Mackenzie was drowning in a sea of grief, guilt, and shame, even saying she wished she was the one who was dead. After reviewing the evidence and building their case, the police decided Mackenzie deliberately crashed that car. She was charged with 4 counts of murder, felonious assault, and aggravated vehicular homicide in November 2022. And that's not all. A bag of shrooms and a scale were found in her jacket pocket after the crash. That earned her one more charge: drug possession and possession of criminal tools. In the summer of 2023, Mackenzie went to court. There was no jury. She chose a bench trial after hearing she'd be tried as an adult. Her defense was simple. Thanks to the video, it was obvious she was driving recklessly and, sad to say, had a part in the deaths of 2 people. But murder? Friends who were at the house party the night before said the couple seemed happy. They weren't arguing. Other people, including Mackenzie's aunt, also said the couple seemed happy. They were talking about future plans in the months leading up to the crash. Before, during, and after Dominic's funeral on August 8th, 2022, Mackenzie posted over and over on his obituary page, "I love you, my nug. I will never stop thinking about you. You are my soulmate. You made me the girl I am today. I wish I could be with you every single day. This doesn't seem real. You were perfect. I love you so much." So what actually happened in that car? We'll never know for sure.
I don't want to say that she's mentally ill, but that bitch is crazy.
Mackenzie says she blacked out and doesn't remember a thing, but her mother took a guess. Maybe she passed out. In 2017, Mackenzie was diagnosed with a disorder that makes her pass out if her sodium and hydration levels are too low. The car's computer system shows the steering wheel jerking right then left roughly 5 seconds before the accident. Now that can be interpreted in a lot of ways. Maybe she was trying to avoid that brick wall, her lawyer said. During all of this, as if Dominic Russo's family wasn't going through enough, the unthinkable happened. His memorial was burned to the ground. They still aren't quite sure how or why. And then in August 2023...
Oh, you going to hell. You gonna sit there and desecrate somebody's grave? If it was her or somebody, it doesn't matter who it is, you are going to straight to hell. Straight to hell. If you believe in God, whenever he sees you up there, he's sending you straight down. He's sending you below hell. You are crazy.
The judge made her decision.
It's a matter of speculation. They have no relevance to the weighing of the evidence in this case. The totality of the evidence clearly demonstrates that Mackenzie Shirilla acted purposely and intentionally in the early morning hours of July 31st, 2022, and her purpose was to kill Dominic Russo and Deacon Flanagan. No reasonable fact finder could view the totality of this evidence in this case and come to any other conclusion. Her actions were controlled, methodical, deliberate, intentional,
That fake ass
and
sob.
purposeful. This was not reckless driving. This was murder.
She morphed from a responsible driver to literal hell on wheels, the judge said. Mackenzie's guilty verdict came with 15 years behind bars.
15 years is not enough. Even with her sodium issue or whatever she's talking about, like he said, how did she have perfect driving all throughout her life? I'm assuming she got her license when she was 16. How did she have perfect driving throughout her entire life, but up until this point, she just turns into a hell on wheels murderer? Getting 15 years. 15 years to life. I'm pretty sure they're going to give her good behavior and she's going to get out early. Bro. This system is so fucking whack. So whack. 15 years to life. I'm not even going to listen to the whole life part. I hear 15 years. I hear minimum of 15 years. You know what I'm saying? That's all I hear. Fuck the life part. All I hear is 15 years because people are going to forget about this. No one, except for the people who are directly involved, I doubt anyone is going to remember this 15 years from now because we're going to hear about something crazy that's going to go on, you know, probably tomorrow or the next day after. So the fact that it's 15 years, they pretty much gave her 7.5 years for each body. You get 7.5 years for killing somebody? Don't even, bro. Don't even. Don't fuck with me with this. You get 7.5 years on a murder charge. Per body.
Before she's eligible for parole. What do you think? Did the judge get it right? Was this murder or an accident? And that's your recap.
Thanks for hanging out with us today.
If you like getting all...
Y'all, go check out this video, like it. I'm gonna look at these comments. $15 years is not enough, bro. Put her under the jail. Especially for somebody whoever just desecrated the grave. I'm pretty sure he set that. She set it on fire. I do think it was possibly a murder-suicide and she didn't expect to survive, but God was like, you're going to live with this. God was like, you're going to live with the consequences of your own actions. Oh, she was 17? That's probably why. But even though she was 17, but being charged as an adult. Yeah. There's no. 17, living with a 20-year-old, doing drugs and partying all night. Yeah, bro, no. But she's being charged an adult, still 15 years. They're like, I don't want to ruin her life because she's so young. She didn't know what she was doing. She's still young. The actions of her consequences, she doesn't understand. Her brain isn't fully developed yet, so she won't get it. Whatever, bruh. Whatever. She just ruined 2 people's lives forever. And also ruined everyone that was involved. All the family members, the mother, the brothers and sisters that were related to all of these people. No, bro. No. You have no idea what it does to other people whenever you go and just decide to murder someone. And then I feel like the jury, the judges, they don't take into account of like how big of an impact it makes on other people's families. You know? Like, it isn't rare that if someone's close relative or family member, friend, whatever it is, dies, and if it's a murder or whatever the case may be, sometimes they can't live without them, and then they either go into depression, you know, which is normal because obviously who wouldn't have some kind of depressing feelings after they find out that a loved one has passed away. But despite that, after the fact, some people take their own lives. You know what I mean? Like if it was let's say it's a husband and a wife, and then the wife or the husband, whichever one, gets their life taken and one of them is spared. Sometimes in cases that person doesn't want to go on and live without the other. So that person just goes ahead and, you know, takes themselves out just so they can be with that other person. I wouldn't say that it's uncommon, but it isn't common. It's somewhere in the middle, you know what I'm saying? Like, it happens more times, I feel, on the regular. But and I feel like it depends on how old you are too. Like if you're pushing like 70, 80 years old and then your significant other passes away, I'm pretty sure some people are like, I'm checking out too. You know what I mean? Like, you've been married for like whatever, you know, 30, 40, 50, 60 something years or something like that, and you check out, your partner might want to go with you. But anyway, that's unfortunate. Like, that's crazy. 15 years. Teen threw baby in garbage after giving birth in locked hospital bathroom. There's so many other things you could have done. I don't even want to watch that, bro. There's so many other things you could have done except for throwing your baby away in the trash. Like, you could have put it up for adoption. You could have. I'm not saying you should do this, but I'm pretty sure people have seen where people have taken their babies and just left them at a police station or left them at a fire department. Like, you could have done anything to give the child a fighting chance, right? But you want to put it in the trash can. Like, a cat or a dog could have, like a very hungry cat, dog, whatever, possum, raccoon, whatever the case may be, right? Could have just went in there. Bro, these people are crazy. These people are crazy.
Today, we're going to be trying...
They don't taste like cake.
What is this?
What do you think it is?
A scone.
They're not scones.
They look exactly like scones.
They are.
It's an American...
Biscuit.
Biscuit!
Nailed it.
They're not. Biscuits are so weird.
What do you guys think of when you think of a biscuit?
Crunchy. English biscuits are quite like thin.
Something like that?
Yeah.
So what are you holding right now?
A biscuit. That is a scone. It's a biscuit. Whoa.
It's a biscuit.
Soft. It looks fluffy.
Just like bread.
You halved it like a scone.
I don't know how this can be a biscuit.
That's really good.
Are these Popeyes biscuits? You know what I mean? Like, they need some water if these are Popeyes biscuits. You've half the scone. Like, you gotta put some honey in there, bro.
Americans are lucky. Americans are lucky.
It's like sweet bread, basically.
Like fresh loaf of bread.
You looked surprised, Imran. Was it not what you were expecting?
Not at all.
What were you expecting?
I don't know, something like with a filling inside, probably.
Like a donut?
Yeah.
How does it compare to a scone?
Much better. I'm abandoning my country saying these are better than scones.
No, that's nice. I like that. 6 out of 10. Okay. A solid 6. I mean, considering in America, you'd almost never just have that by itself. You'd almost always pair it with something.
Oh yeah, I've had.
Oh. You know what? I think I figured something out. Has anyone... I'm going on record here, because I don't know if anyone's done this. Getting Popeyes biscuits and making biscuits and gravy. Why doesn't Popeyes... Why say it like that? Why doesn't Popeyes make biscuits and gravy? They already did the strawberry jam with the biscuits. Why don't they do biscuits and gravy? Bruh, they be tearing up Whataburger. Whataburger would never sell a biscuits and gravy again because Popeyes would put them under.
Gravy. Yeah.
Gravy?
What? Why?
How do they eat scones and gravy?
Now, it's a bit different than the gravy you might
It's
know.
white. That's not gravy. That is not gravy.
What is that?
That is not gravy, I'm sorry.
It looks a bit like it has so many vegetables in it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's lumpy.
Oh, lovely.
It's lumpy.
You have to eat all of it.
You don't have to.
Let's call it interesting. Let's call it interesting for now. I'm not gonna make a judgment.
Oh my days.
Let's call it interesting.
Oh my days. Oh my days. That looks good though. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna cap. Biscuits and gravy is so good.
That looks rank. Looks like a chopped up ferret.
The thing is, like, gravy.
What did you say? A chopped up what? How do you know what a chopped up ferret looks like? How do you know what a chopped up ferret looks like?
A chopped up ferret.
It does though.
A
little
chopped
bit.
up ferret.
A little bit.
Oh my. It looks like vomit, I can't lie.
It looks like vomit, to be honest. Okay.
Gravy in England doesn't look like this. Quite runny normally, and it's not as thick as this, and it doesn't have like tons of bits in it.
Well, dig in.
Let's see what you think.
I'm so scared to try this.
Why are you scared?
Well, scones and gravy seems really weird.
Bussin'.
Oh my god, that's so
Bussin'.
good.
This man went from scared to bussin', boy.
Wow. That is good.
There's a lot going on in that. Like, I'm baffled. Like, what even
How do you
is
not like it, bro?
It wasn't
Swallow.
as bad as I thought it was going to be.
It's quite nice.
It's not too bad. It looks and smells rank, but it actually doesn't taste too
It
bad.
looks worse than it is. It looks worse, yeah.
The thing is, I like it, but I wouldn't say it's gravy.
So Americans would call that sausage gravy.
Oh, probably I like it. I love sausages.
I think it tastes good with the biscuit and gravy. If I just have the gravy by itself, it would just taste a bit nasty.
But then you wouldn't drink gravy by itself in England either.
I would.
Oh, really? So you're a fan of British gravy. What do you think about American sausage gravy?
This might be better. It
Ooh.
makes the scones a lot better. I mean, the biscuit.
So what do you think about the combination?
It's amazing. Makes the biscuit go from a 0 to a 10.
Wow.
They somehow go well together. But it's
Every other country knows that America does it better with food. I wouldn't say we have like the best. We don't have the healthiest food, but whenever it comes to like strong flavors, we got the fattest people. Okay? The fitness industry is popping because they got a market for wanting to turn fat people fit. Right? It's crazy.
Seems so weird. Can I have a bit more?
You can, yeah, help yourself.
It's not presented as nicely as I would have hoped.
You know what made this 10 times better? Jam.
You want biscuits and jam.
You know, like that double.
These companies want to make foods addictive. You know what I mean? They're trying to make these foods so good with all these artificial flavors and preservatives and these things that you probably shouldn't be eating. Food coloring, you know what I mean? Like things that you shouldn't be putting in your body get you addicted. You know what I mean? Like, we can trace this all the way back to beverages. Look at Coca-Cola. What do they put in there? What's in the name?
Full cream or something.
You're just describing scones.
Sweet things. You just want a cream
want a
and
scone.
jam on it. That's literally
Do you
a
want an
scone.
English cup of tea as well?
I don't mind the taste. For me, it's the wording of everything is wrong.
Yeah.
It's not gravy and it's not a biscuit. If it was called cake with sauce, it would make more sense, wouldn't it?
Again, that doesn't
No, it
sound
would
very
not.
nice either.
No.
It probably sounds like an American hearing beans on toast for the first time.
Toad in a hole.
Bangers and mash.
Yeah.
Spotted dick.
What's a dick? Yeah.
Always wanted to say that in school to my headmaster.
Correct.
I think this would be exactly the sort of thing that would be for Americans like beans on toast. They wouldn't think of those two things together.
I would say this is better than beans on toast.
Someone call the police.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go that
No,
far.
okay, no, wait. This has like a lot of flavour to it. Beans just have one flavour. Like, come on, it's not that special.
Once you get over the visual, you're like, oh, this is actually really good. It's salty.
It's warming, comforting.
There's a kind of weird buttery scone in the middle.
You guys are really good salesmen.
Although that's a very classic pairing. In the South, you'll often have it with Southern fried chicken.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I love my chicken.
You can dip some in the gravy and see what it's like together.
It's gonna be lovely.
Oh, we tearing that up.
Absolutely amazing. It's just violating the chicken. I want to taste the chicken, man.
That's great. That's great, isn't it?
Oh, wow, so it actually makes me happy. I'll go. Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. The biscuits and then
He ain't never had something so good in his life. I was waiting for him to say, "Oh my days."
the gravy on its own, not amazing crumble, but the chicken is good with the gravy and the biscuit.
This is good. Why did they make this? But this is so good. This is actually so good.
Yeah, it's lovely. It's one of the best things I've had with chicken in my life.
Where'd they get the chicken from?
So, it's okay. Big bit of gravy on the chicken. Absolutely lovely.
I don't know how it works. Gravy, sausage, a fake scone, and chicken. And it somehow all works. They're so good.
What do you normally have a biscuit in the UK with?
Cup of tea.
Cup of tea. In the South, they've also developed their own culture for biscuits and tea.
They put gravy in the tea now.
No.
I wouldn't have gone that far on that guess, bro. That was a wild guess, man.
You don't have tea with gravy. It's Southern tea.
First thoughts, I thought it was Coke.
Looks like a Coke, doesn't it?
Why is it cold if it's tea?
I'm very reluctant.
Is this your first ever iced tea?
Yeah, I know, right? We haven't experienced life yet.
Let's do cheers.
Oh, bro, they about to be like, God, so good. Watch.
That's nice. That's proper nice. Yeah. This one.
Yeah.
This is the winner.
Yeah,
This is
this
better
is
all of
alright.
them.
Iced tea, so good. Oh my days.
Oh my days.
Really sweet. I really like it.
You know what? I think that's better than hot tea.
Wow.
If I gave this to like my mum and dad, if they didn't like this more, we would have problems.
Oh, wow.
You hear that, Theo's parents?
Okay.
Oh, that's so good. It's more sugary than Coke, but I think it's a lot better.
You're finishing that already.
It's quite nice.
It's
Quite nice.
There's a lot of sugar.
Quite
A lot
nice.
of sugar.
By the end of this, I'm going to be bouncing off the walls.
Do you have any more of this?
Yeah.
You want more tea? Your teachers are not going to like us later today. How does that compare to the tea and biscuits that you know?
They're gonna be in their classroom. We had sweet tea. We had scones and gravy. Bruh, Then be like, man, why you ain't give me some, bro?
Comparable. It's like comparing a Ferrari with a Ford.
Which one's the Ferrari? Really? Wow.
The presentation of it is definitely not to the English standards, but tastes very good. It's so good. Everything works.
When I saw this, I think it was going to be quite bad. But after trying it, it was a lot better than it looks.
The gravy surprised me. When it came out, it was like white, chunky. Does not look nice. But like when you taste it, it's amazing. It's been a life-changing experience.
Oh, wow.
I think I could probably finish 2 of these while he finishes that.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, do you have a final word for anyone at home who's watching?
You know, he's requesting it. He was like, can I get 2 more? While he gets 2 more of that, please. He just worded it a little different, you know what I'm saying? That man, you smart. Props, bro, props. I like how you worded that. I like how you worded that. Being persuasive. I hope they gave him some after that, though.
Bring your fake scones and sausage gravy to England. Your food is weird and nice.
Coming from a country where we made beans on toast.
But that works. Beans on toast is good, yeah. I mean, it doesn't seem weird either.
That is weird. That is wild. Beans on toast is wild. And I'm pretty sure all these kids, if they haven't already, this is 6 months ago, they're definitely coming to the U.S. to visit. I'm telling you. I wonder where they got their biscuits and gravy from. Like, where did they get the chicken from? I want to know. Yeah, do I have to eat it all? Can I have some more? That's true. That's for real. That's true. Yeah, that is definitely not controversial. Like, the fact that you're comparing gravy with sausage and a nice flaky, probably not a Popeye's biscuit, but it should be a Popeye's biscuit, next to beans on toast. That's like, to me, that's like comparing chicken to tofu. You know what I mean? That was a good video. That was a good video. That's crazy. Like, these videos don't really get recommended to me, but the fact that it did get recommended to me, I like that. All right. So, I think we are going to probably going to get into GTA. We all right. I'll be right back while this loads up. see this delay real quick. Whoa, that's crazy fast. That's like a 5-second delay. Why isn't it capturing? I'm trying to get this game capture up, bro. Man, what's up with it, bro? I swear, man. I'm trying to get this game up real quick, bro. Why is it not? All right, let's try this again. Let me try this again, bro. Yes, quit this. Oh, now it wants to load whenever I quit. Close the fucking program, bro. Okay. Dude. Today just ain't my day. Some days are meant to be bad, some days are meant to be good. Today is just one of those days where it's just not working. Like, I can't get the game. For dude, GTA isn't responding, bro. Bro, I'm gonna look this. Man, I always gotta look shit up, bro. Okay, I'll be right back. God damn. Hello? Hi. Yeah, but some issues. I got the delay fixed, but yeah, but now I have to figure out why. I don't know. My game isn't being captured and I'm trying to get it. Nuh-uh. Okay. Alright. Alright. Love you too, bye. How do I keep it? All right, whatever, dude. Let's just end this.